La 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 la. Oh, it's spicy. La 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 la. I forgot what I was doing. There we go. Bang, bang, bang. Pop out. Cop back, cop back. Cop back, cop back. What the hell was that? Ow. Um, go. Paste. That's not it. Oh, wrong thing. Show chat. Layover. Edit. Paste. Go. Joe. Studio. Bam. Copy. 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 Okay. Oh, pin goal. Okay. What up? What up? What up? Oh,
Heck.
hey. Heck, heck, heck,
Heck.
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 Son of a,
Heck.
you piece of
Heck.
lamb, you son of a,
Heck.
you done a,
Heck.
you,
Heck.
damn,
Heck. Heck. Heck.
uh, uh,
Heck. Heck.
uh,
Heck.
or I'll,
Heck.
you in the
Heck.
hole. Did you see my latest short that I posted today by any chance, Lamb? About about comedians? Oh, no need for that torrent. That torrent. That was my knee. The torrent of abuse. How long? How long? Dude, I just ate so much freaking. I just ate so much freaking. Ah, chicken. Dumpling soup. Chicken dumpling soup. Carrots. And I ate a lot. It was my celebration for getting out of court today. I had to go to court today for driving without insurance. And so I show up with my insurance card saying I had insurance. And they're like, our bad, dismissed. You gotta be kidding me. They towed my car. Um, my shorts. Get that
Heck.
out of my shorts. Get your little itty bitty
Heck.
out of my
Heck.
shorts. Um, I know. Yeah. Okay, we'll watch it real quick. It's funny. It's funny. It's trying to teach the kids how to deal with abuse on the internet. Or not abuse, but like, jokes. Okay, where am I at? I think it's funny. I got my finger in my mouth. What do you
want to do? You say, watch me, watch me. And sometimes that's motivating. And I'm not afraid to fail in front of anybody. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. Because listen, comedy is freaking awesome. When I do something stupid, the wit of the funny people to make fun of me is freaking great. I love it. I love it because I'll use that joke somewhere else. I think it's great. People are, oh, you're making fun of me. Don't worry about it. That's now in your arsenal. That's now in your arsenal. If someone makes fun of you, remember it and be like, that's freaking witty. I do have a big nose. I am kind of ugly. I've got a, that's awesome. And now I can use jokes like that, especially when people have good jokes. I freaking love it. I love it because then you can use it. They're in your arsenal. And if you just change your mindset to thinking about how everything used against you and towards you can be used from you, it's great. And then if you find, what do you want to do?
Yeah, that's my new favorite. That's my new favorite. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. The like button. The like button. Yeah. What's up, Cora? Finally, life is better. It does get there, Kahora. It does get there. You're not funny, ND. Can I say something? Why not? Read the room, ND. Read the room. Oh, I'm definitely going to be taking a nap soon. I had to wake up at like 6 o'clock this morning, but I got something on my heart I want to say. Say it, ND. Say it. I am funny, Kahora. I'm funny. I have to agree. Yeah. Pigs can't sweat effectively because they have few functional sweat glands. You know what I can probably do? Really? I think I knew that. And rats can't puke or fart or burp or fart or puke. Sweating like a pig. Sweating like a pig. Can pigs sweat? No, pigs cannot sweat effectively. There you go. Because they have very few functional sweat glands. Look at that. ND wasn't lying at all. There you go. Thank you, ND. My brother ND. Well, that satisfied my curiosity. I thought it was sweating like a hog. So it just said sweating like a pig is from pig iron. When they back in blast furnaces, they used to have to sit around and scrape not the slag off of like molten iron, pig iron. So that's what it said. Sweating like a pig comes from the people that used to work in the foundries. Like a man in an orthopedic shoes. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. Oh man, I'm definitely gonna need a nap. I ate so much in the past past 5 minutes. But I figure I'd jump on here. No germs. That's so 2025. That's so 2025. How about you super chat that much money and I'll say it. How about that, Germies? How you doing though, brother Germs? Brother Jeremy's. We won. Hey, look at that. Looks like Starmer abandons plans for compulsory digital ID. Team effort. There you go. Welcome, Lamb. You don't need a digital ID no more. Like a man in orthopedic shoes. I stand corrected. Oh, come on. We all wanted it. So then they could be like, oh, well, somebody made millions of digital IDs and they're all getting hundreds of thousands of dollars from it. How does one read a room? Like this, dude. What do you mean? Haven't you seen my room? Somebody ban Jeremy's. No, I don't ban him. Unless he keeps going. It's city stickers. City stickers? City boy. Oh, jeez. Yeah, you can get rid of him. He's freaking lame. Lame. Why can't you come up with something new, Germs? You finally got in. You finally got access to the best stream on the internet, and you're like, can you say? You could have been like, dude, how did you get such a beautiful nose? How do you, you know? How do you grow such lovely schnoz? And I can say, son of a
heck,
What up, Roke? Welcome back, brother Roke. Brother girl, Roke. Okay, let's see. Roke, I don't know if you're a boy or a girl yet. You haven't told me, but we had a good conversation. I'll say you're a girl. How are you, Roke? And look at this, look at that. Look at them lips. I'm a lady. They call her Lady Roke. All right, good. My Lady Roke. My Lady Roke. My Lady Roke. Okay. Thank you. How do you obtain this level of nonchalantness? Dealing with crowds and for many years, I guess. That's all I think. Germs. So I was a touring musician for years, and I was in the movie industry for 15 years. So I had, people all around constantly saying, "Oh, kiss me on the lips and stop touching my feet." So I got to, Aaron, I saw they let you out of prison today, car theft or something. So I got arrested. Well, I got pulled over. They towed my car for not having insurance. So I had to go to court today. And then, so I had to bring my insurance. And they said, "Oh, we're sorry. You had insurance. Case dismissed." I said, "Thank you. Now, what about my car towing fees and all this?" And they were like, "You can hire a lawyer." And I said, "That's not very nice of you, Atlanta. That's not very nice of you." I sang, Erwin. I sang, Aaron, for the best of the world and the worst of the times. Yeah, that's BS. Absolutely, Cora. Absolutely. Yep. So I switched from, I was paying 600 every 6 months for State Farm. No, 800 a year. Hold on. 800 a year. No. 800 every 6 months. No, wait a second. Hold on. Yeah, 800 every 6 months for State Farm. And then so Geico was going to give me $412 every 6 months. So in April of 2 years ago, I switched over from State Farm to Geico. And then, so that was good from April to October, and I got pulled over in May, June, the next 2 months later, and they were like, "You don't have insurance. Get out of the car." Blah blah blah. I was like, "What?" Yeah, and I was like, "I got insurance," and then I pulled up the digital insurance, and they're like, "Anybody can make a digital insurance card." And I was, "What do you want me to do?" So they were like, "Deal with the judge." And I down here now I dealt with the judge, and they were like, "Sorry." So stupid. What'd they say? What'd they say? They said, incorrect data. They had incorrect data. We had incorrect data. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Sounds like Mayberry right there. Mayberry justice. Here in Washington, you can add liability to your driver's license. You could add liability to your driver's license. Wow. What up, Stuss, brother? Maybe Geico will pay for your towing charges. Yeah, so, I mean, which don't cover anything but getting towed. Right. Freaking mobsters. But that's all. Yeah, that's all. So I said, okay, let's see. I was getting ready to fight. I wore my nice shirt. I said, "Your Honor." I didn't even have to say "Your Honor." I didn't even get to the judge. The prosecuting attorney was like, "Okay, do you want to plead guilty for this?" And I was like, "Well, here's my," and he's like, "Oh, okay, we're going to go ahead and dismiss this." It's like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I drove to Atlanta at 6 o'clock in the morning, or I left here at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's wackadoodle. I think I'm going to run for president and frickin' overthrow the Atlanta government. Take it over. I think that's better than getting my tow charges back, my tow fees back. Why not? It seems like basically most politicians these days are just content creators. I mean, look at frickin' Trump and Jasmine Crockett and frickin' wackadoos like that. They're just all over the internet all the time. Like, I can do that. Freaking wacky ass people. I mean, these people are nuts. Politicians are nuts. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Like, I mean, I understand it. You need name recognition and blah, blah, blah to get where you want to get to stay, to get power and to keep power. But the way they do it is just so dumb. Like, just making fun of people, the Republicans and the Democrats. Drives me crazy. I think it's time for a change. What I hope happens, I hope everybody in the current Democratic Party gets what's coming to them for what they've done to the party. Then the Democrat Party gets refreshed with some new ideas and some new folks. And then there's another two-party system, and we can have calm debates and whatnot. Not just, no, you're orange. No, you're freaking stupid. You stand it up. You know, and all that crazy bullshit. Just to like, what do you mean, Daddy? Mommy said, you know, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of all the, we could be for a progressive party, they want to regress. It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. I just can't sleep. In too deep incorrect data. Unfreaking believable. Unfreaking believable. I wonder when else they have incorrect data. You know, what else you got incorrect data on? I will vote for you. Thank you, Sauce Brother. Can I? Yeah, sure, Cora. Absolutely. Vote for Kanye. Did you have genuflect? Did you have to genu? I didn't have to do anything. I walked up to the prosecutor and, you know, to talk about whatever, and he was just like, "Oh, you got insurance. My bad. Dismissed." I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" It was not 2 minutes. I'm off to the store to buy ice cream. All right, brother. It's us. Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. I say, I wore my nice underwear and everything. I wore my lucky underwear. Brushed my freaking butt crack. There's this guy who was that I was sitting next to in the in court, and he was looking up an app, and it was like I can't remember. I wrote down what it was called. Doesn't matter. I'm not gonna publicize it, but it's an app that you pay like $1,000 if you've got like a $200 speeding ticket, and they guarantee it goes away in Atlanta. So it's just like a bunch of freaking wackadoos that have relationships with judges and prosecutors that can get it handled. And so the guy that runs the app or whatever, he shows up with like 1,000 people, whatever, however many it is, 70 a day or whatever. And he's just like, "Oh, this is my first guy, my second guy, third guy." And they just throw it out. He's like, "Hey, I'll give you $50 for each one of these that you dismiss." You know, I guarantee that. I mean, allegedly. Lucky underwear, it's wild. Yeah. It worked. Because if you go to jail, you want lucky underwear on. Trust me. Catherine used to work in prisons. Can you imagine going to prison? And I've seen people turn misdemeanors into felonies. I've seen people turn traffic violations into felonies. And it's so crazy. It's so crazy. So there was this guy I remember talking to. He did 6 years. He thought he had something on him. And so he got argumentative with the cops so they wouldn't search his car. So he ended up like pushing the cop shut. The cop slipped. Anyway, so he gets battering an officer, and it was at his house. After he gets out, he goes home. It's at his house. He didn't even have it with him. He was worried that they'd find like a bag of weed or whatever he had on him, and he didn't even have it on him. So he pushed. It was so crazy. Yeah. So a simple like speeding ticket turned into, can we search your car? Turned into 6 years, and I think he said 6 years. Yeah. My lawyer got me on a technicality for China. Yeah, no, that's the thing. The especially with the whole immigration deal, whether you like immigration or not, it's overloading the system. So they're trying to rush through stuff as quick as they can. So a lot of mistakes are made along the way. You know, I mean, look, even when they just tried to take Biden and Trump out, they messed up they messed up the custody for like who had the paperwork from here, and here. I was doing 110, but my what says I can only do my Vits says it could only do 99. There you go. 1 plus 3, 2, 1 plus 1 is 3. It often display stops at 99, but it could do 121. There you go. It could only do 99. There's no way I was speeding. It only goes to 85. And they dropped it, or they dropped it down to 99? Did they reduce the speeding ticket, or did they drop it completely? I guess if they can't... dismissed. Dismissed. I was... Hack the ECU. You can do that. You can definitely do that. And you see that a lot. People driving around with laptops. What's going on, my boy? I'm here to make the day. What's going on, your boy? Here to make your day slightly less more. Okay, hey, I'm down with either. I went to court this morning. I know I'm going to be repeating this over and over again. I went to court this morning for driving without insurance because I was driving with insurance. So they dismissed it because I had insurance. And, you know, but it's still good because who knows? Because they can do whatever they want until, oh, sorry, you spent 28 years in jail on a frickin' something you didn't do because we had incorrect data. So frickin' swag. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Drives me crazy. I just can't
Heck.
in too deep.
Heck. Heck. Heck.
How's everybody doing? We're all out and screwing. Baby blueing. I concur. Since the radar was not calibrated, the officer had that approximately. Bro, tell a similar word as petrol pump. A similar word as petrol pump? Like a similar word to gas pump? I'm trying to think. Like change petrol and pump is no, hold on, no, you own the car, sussy. You own, if it's not your car, yes. If it's leased, probably. But if you own the car, you can do whatever you want to. You can rip it out, put a different one in, yeah, as long as it passes inspection. Door pump, yeah, engine control unit. You can void your warranty. Right. It's not right. It's not illegal. It might violate a warranty or something. Right. Petrol pump. Oh, that rhymes with petrol pump. I thought you meant like gas hump. Donald Trump, petrol pump. The thing is depending on what you say can vastly change the outcome. Yes, right. This is why you hear politicians crafting their speeches with such wackadoodle vocabulary. But what does a rev limit exist? To protect the engine. So, like, if you just stop on the gas, you could blow your engine. So, they put a rev limiter on it, not for speed. They do it so you can have a what's called a governor, which is theoretically or a rev limiter. But you can also have, they're used to these things on buses. And there was a bolt that you unthreaded out of the floor, so the gas pedal would hit that screw, and the more you unscrewed the screw, the less you couldn't push the gas pedal all the way to the floor. If you screwed the screw in, the gas pedal would go down more, and that's they figured out. Okay, right there, Ford would do 45 miles an hour, so buses wouldn't do over 45 miles an hour. But that's policy. That has nothing to do with the law. You just you can do whatever you want to your car if it as long as it passes emissions tests and stuff like that. You can rip the engine out completely, and you can put freaking
heck
powered petrol pump in there. You can do whatever you want. Uh, yeah, that's right. Bruh, I want to see my name on your board, please. Not right now. Um, I mean, if you can't see it from here, I'm on, this camera's mounted. I'm not using my phone right now, so it's not. I can't unmount everything just to show it to you. I put a diesel in. You can do that. I could always get a second ECU and mod that one. Right? Yeah. Tuning used to be much easier. Turbo diesel Mercedes, too slow. Screw for that bag. More fuel. What up, Blazer? Your doppelganger's online. She's an ex bodybuilder. She's a doctor. She gives health advice. Are you talking about the? Are you talking who? Are you talking about the? Are you talking about the what's her face? The vegan freaking lady. She's not a bodybuilder, right? Your doppelganger is online, an ex bodybuilder doctor that gives health advice. You got tell me your name so I can look her up. Yeah, but she's. Do you know her name? Her at. That'd be funny. Yeah, well, back in the day before ECU controlled engines, you used to be able to just turn the distributor cap a degree or two forward or backward to. She always wears a hoodie. Is she string? I mean, yeah. If you can find her name, I'd like to see. We could check one line. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't want to just scroll through a bunch of wackadoos. Hit that like button for my doppelganger. Oh, I smacked the dog. I smacked the dog
heck,
out of my elbow. Because the big benches in court, they have these big wooden like armrests, and I went to take my jacket off, and I went, bam, like it was like, doom. Like people looked, it was so loud, and I just wanted to howl, mother,
heck,
son of a.
heck,
Okay, where are we at? Let's see, I definitely want to see. I definitely want to see who you're talking about. Try yeah. If you remember Blazer, let me know. It's always better to buy a car more tunable than try to work around a mediocre engine. No, I agree. I agree. Listen, I agree. Most stuff that they do to engines these days are just for tax purposes. Some government agency decides to regulate. You're putting out too much. This, yeah, so stupid. Uh, yeah, I agree. There are some exceptions, like the EJ20 Subaru motor being stronger than the EJ25 for forced induction. Right, thicker block. I was about to say, if your piston cylinder walls are too thin, you can blow them out. Hey, Sunderland. On my last breaks, I thought saying it's up. Thank you. How you doing? Engine swaps suck, especially nowadays, because you got sensor wires, fuel. I mean, you always had fuel lines, sensor wires, plug wires, all the freaking torque. Well, if you're just automatic torque converter, belt housing, mating, all the freaking wackadoo stuff that's in the way to get out, all the cowling and stuff that you have to pull out just to get to the. Yeah, that's crazy. It didn't used to be like that. You used to have a big ass car with a big ass engine, but you could like reach in and hug the engine. If you want cheap, easy go, yeah, turbo diesel, yeah. And so my sister years ago used to date this guy that had a Mercedes turbo diesel that ran on French fry, fryer grease. So he would go around to just local McDonald's and stuff like that, and he'd be like, "Can I have your oil?" And they would give it to him. I've cussed in other languages, and some people. Hold on, I've cussed in other languages, and some people know that language. Just laugh. Yep. The M47 D20 is a good candidate for tuning 150 to 190. Jeez, I'd say Subaru was a cool swap. Subaru, yeah. They're very difficult to work with. There ain't nothing like swapping an American gas engine, like freaking old school, like the 351 Windsors and the 454s. I mean, you need a lot of help, but I mean, as long as there's oil in the pan and the carburetor's connected, you're good. Do you know much about radar? I do. I do know a lot about radar technology. I actually, yes, I do know a lot about radar technology. I know about lidar, radar, sonar. I know a lot about all of. I know about in use in water. I know about for okay. In the '90s having huge engine bays, right? In '90s, '70s, the 1.9 TDI is also a good candidate. Came in the Volkswagen. Yeah, that was a very popular engine. Yes, that 1.9 TDI was a very popular engine. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Skippy, what would you like to know about, brother? So I have a lot. I used to. If you're talking about military, we can talk about that. But if you're talking about smaller project desktop for like robots, proximity sensing and stuff like that, I did that too. What's your opinion on the 2000? I had a 2003 Honda Civic, and I drove it until 2022. Yeah, and yeah, the only problem with it was that the starter went bad. And in order to replace the starter, you have to remove the passenger side wheel and axle to get to the starter. So that's freaking crazy. So it was like $1,000 job, and the car was worth like 400. But no, can you notch Acer radars? I'd say between 20,000 and 2010 cars are god tier. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they go forever. I had like almost 300,000 miles on the thing, and it was still peppy. It still went, but it wouldn't start. What up, Julia? Okay, what would you want to know about what do you want to know about them? And why do you want to not? You can notch anything if you want to take any. If you're talking about frequency notching or using a notch filter, you can absolutely do so. What up, Upu? 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 I heard this from a Toyota engineer. If you're going to swap engines, swap from the same brand, Subaru. Well, yeah, yes, 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 and you'll have connecting the motor to transmissions are going to be the biggest issue. So yes, you definitely want to stay brand RAM. Do I like your profile picture? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let me see. Oops, wrong thing. There we go. There it is. Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. That's crazy looking, but it's good for a profile picture. Yeah, looks good. Let's see. Um, I got a car. I got a car for my little sister. It was a '04 Prius and it had 438,000 miles on it. Yeah, right. Probably worked fine. But then again, Americans typically don't get gaff convenience when it comes to car. No, 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 no. But not everyone's thousands of dollars. Right. Agreed. Cheers, Andy, brother. Yeah, yeah. So there's groups of people that are 100% into it. There's groups of people where like there's this saying, this little thing that goes around. It says, "Would you rather drive an electric car drive an electric car or go to jail for a year?" And they're like, "Lock me up." There's no way because they want to mod it. They want to, absolutely. What's up, Throw brother? What up, Throw brother? But yeah, she's awesome, It's awesome. But not notch filtering. If you want to talk, if you what did Skippy? What do you want to know about the notch filtering? Um, he threw. I got pee pee in the toilet. One second. All right. Um, oops. What and my thing is 2018 Honda was easy to exploit the radio. I understand the concept clearly of notching radar. You need to make your closure rate essentially zero by a perpendicular emitter. So it depends on the wavelength. It depends on the wavelength. So you want to be as close to the emitter as possible. But if you can't be directly close to it, you have to go like quarter wavelength or a another fraction, like quarter, half, three quarter. Because if you don't sever or reflect at I can't remember the term, like at like a quarter, a whole wavelength. So you have to know the frequency that you're operating at. Okay, so let me show you real quick with the BCM. All right, so let's talk about this. Okay, so waveguides, waveguides. We'll do that. Let's just do this. All right, radar waveguides, quarter frequency bends. Okay, all right. Okay. So when you make a waveguide like these coming off of the horn, which is your emitter, right? Every time you make a turn, you have your wave, your sine wave. If you aren't at a point where it's changing, that's why you want to do quarter frequencies. When you would have distortion, so you would no longer be in that frequency. So when you're doing wave guiding, like here's a this is a connector to and that would be that the shape of those ends, that's a tuned resonant chamber, so the distance of that would be different for whatever radar frequency you're operating at. But yes, you can make a notch filter. So radar physical notch filter. All right, so when you're making a notch filter, the distance is what matters. The distance matters with dependent on the wavelength. So yes, anything's possible, but it all depends on the wavelength you're working on. All right, what are we talking about? Yeah. So all that is, the reason that works is just because the distance between the two connectors, and you can see your stop band, and you see here it says the bandwidth is 1/2 or whatever t times the frequency. So that's how you tune. That's how you notch. That's how you notch a frequency in a filter. That's how you notch. And you can see this is for a different frequency, so it's a different distance, different length. And then this is for between 88 and 108. So that's using what's called a resistive and a capacitive divider. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, it's all possible. And if you can download, if you want to play around in digital space, you can download what's it called? It's called Electronics Playground. I'll try to remember the software, but it's free, open source. It's open source software. It's a simulation software. Dang, what's it called? Open source radio frequency simulation software. Uh, no, that's not them. Open source electrical circuit simulation software. Spice. You can download Spice, LT Spice, and um you can do all that. You can play around, and it'll show you what does your waveform. I study electronics warfare, but I'm still the rudimentary straight stages. No, hey brother, no problem. I'll help you and all you want, Skippy, brother. All you want. Not a problem. I can get you lead you to all the free software you need, and you can play around and you can see frequency responses. All like oscilloscopes are built in. Obviously, you need a sound card to connect something, but yeah, you can see what little changes would do. Absolutely, I'll help you out, brother. I got what you need, but you say it's just friend. Yeah, I can help you out. And like I said, you can simulate everything, so you don't have to actually create physical environments to do the testing you want to do. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. I'm smoking ops in the Honda Civic. There's a sine wave generator in VR chat.
So yeah, I would imagine. I mean, that's just right. So sine waves are standard clean tones. If you want 1,000 hertz, that would be, you know, a sine wave generator. And then if you want it to be a little distorted, you do a sawtooth generator, a triangle wave generator, a square wave generator, and we can pull them up online here. We can just do a standard. Just say, hey, we'll go here and we'll say sine wave generator, right? And we'll be able to pull one here, online tone generator. And then, so we can do, so say 440 hertz. This is gonna be an A. And the key of A or the note A is 440 hertz. So, and this is just in sine. And then if we want, we can go to square wave. And you hear the difference between sine and square, sawtooth. So it's the same note, it's just a different waveform, triangle, right? And then that sounds most pleasing. And then we can do, let's say, 1,000 hertz, and then play. It's a sine wave. It's more pleasing. And then if we want to do a D, I think it's 320. There you go. Yep, very interesting. It's very interesting stuff. Also an oscilloscope. Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Teaches you how it gives you an optical representation of what sound is like. If you want a lot of fun with handling the cheapest possible, Mazda MX-5. If you want good speed, 350Z or G35, both great. Yeah, pickings are slim. I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure in your area, absolutely, you can find, if you're willing to bust your knuckles, you can get anything you want here in America. Shipping is cheap, and you can find the thing that's great is you can find, if you want a car, whatever it is. Let's say it's a 380ZX, 300. Okay, you can find one that's been wrecked on the front end and one that's been wrecked on the rear end. Buy both of them for under 2 grand, and you can make it happen. You can make it happen. You just got to be willing to donate your time into it. And if you've got the money, then you can hire people to cut the wreck off of both and put them together. I mean, you can find shops. We were talking to somebody earlier in chat the other day that was talking about they used to stretch Hummers and stuff to make Hummer limousines. And so you can find people to do that. So you can take the wrecked front end and the wrecked rear end, get rid of both wrecks, take those, and you can stretch the vehicles. Just went back home. What not have I walked into here? We're talking about all kinds of neat stuff. Let me see if I can find this. What frequency is the note of A? 440. I'm freaking smart. The the middle A above middle C, which is standard A. Yeah. But and then if you want to go each octave, 220, 440, 880. All I heard was rear end over end hertz. Yeah, 440 A, 440 tuning. And then so they have things over here like binaural beats, DTMF. That's dual tone, multiple frequency. That's what old telephone frequency, dual tone. Metronomes, pips, acoustic theory, and this is all free, dude. Hearing test, instrument tuning, sweeping frequencies, start frequency and end frequency on a sine wave over 10 seconds. Oh, all right, jeez. Gladys Knight and the Pips. Oh, Hertz. Wrong Hertz. Yeah. Gladys Knight from the Pips. Yeah. It's amazing what you can do. 432 hertz generator. Yeah, what they people say is better than 440. Just 8 hertz, and it's so much more pleasing than 440. 432 and 440. So close. Interesting. Interesting how 8 hurts less. Gladys Knight and the Pips. Yeah, let's see. Where are we though? Let's see. Thank you. Reply. How long? How long? Let's see. Oh, my dad was in. Okay, hold on. I missed that. I need 7 gigahertz. My dad was an EWO in the Air Force back in the 80s and 90s, which is kind of a lost art now since it's all done with computers, monitor the frequencies. My friend, yes, lost, not dead. Listen, the faster we get with digital frequencies, the closer to analog they become. You will be able to use your analog skills the faster digital gets. Like let me show you something real quick. All right. An analog, hold on. A digitized 3 megahertz sound wave. Sine wave. Okay. All right. So this is what analog looks like, all right? And then when you digitize it, let me see if I can find a good representation of it. Here you go. And when you digitize it, it looks like this. Like this. All right? So it's on and off, on and off, on and off. So that makes sound wave. But as it gets faster and faster and faster and faster, it starts to look back like this. So then analog filters work on the digital waves because it just ends up making the sound the same sine wave again. So if you learn analog filterings and analog that, it will work, just not now. So it's just like you learned it and then it was worthless for 10 years, and then come that as stuff gets smarter, it's just full circle. So it will be worth. It's going to be good. Yeah. Give me 100 terahertz. Yeah, that ain't happening for a while. It'll get there. I'm such a radio nerd, big fan of shortwave. I was a big fan of, although the business is just down. Listen, it'll all be back. It will all be back. Everyone's going to be so tired of the digital takeover, the AI adoption, and everything. But AI and analog don't go hand in hand. So analog, shortwave, amateur ham radio, all that stuff will be back. Will be back, absolutely, dude. My ex girlfriend of mine's grandfather used to do amateur ham television. He used to broadcast television. He had his own television broadcasting studio in his basement, and he had 3 cameras, 3 different angles, like, and one would point down at his desk so he could show paperwork and stuff like that. Yeah, and he all did it. After the next big disagreement, radio will be king. It looks like a 2 circle dog fight. Like a 2 circle dog fight. I really want to tube amp my Nixie clock. Do it. Listen, the Russians are still making Nixies and Nixie tubes and vacuum tubes, and a lot of audio companies are still making power supply vacuum tubes. So you can get them, and really, it's not as difficult as you think. You just need, because you can get ICs to run the tubes now. So it's not like you have to do voltage multipliers and dividers. It'll be done in the IC, so you can absolutely do that. Um, Russian Nixie tube sockets. Sockets. Yeah, so you can get the sockets, and then this is the back side of the socket. You just wire them like you wire anything else. Here's the tube base right there. Here's a Nixie tube. That's an old school Nixie dude. That's the size of a dime. Number stations, yeah. I'm doing ham sandwich at the moment. Yeah, number stations fascinate everyone. I think they're 100% propaganda, but there are some still running. Lamb, there are some still running. Active number stations, ham radio. Yeah, like right here, you can't get Nixie tubes now. I really want an old one though. Yeah, I mean that's so you can even listen in these. You can even listen into these right now. East Asia, Pacific, East Asia. You can listen to them obviously online, and you can also listen to them. But look at all these channels, all these channels. It's crazy. Lincolnshire, Lincolnshire what? Lincolnshire poacher. Musical intro. Oh, they got it here. Look. This is crazy. It's all it does. It's just usually a woman's voice just repeating numbers. Dogfight. I know lots of dogfights. I don't know what a circle dogfight is. BBC is closing a lot of their global transmitters. They're probably adapting them to something else, but yeah, I can imagine. Usually between 30 and 35 paired of 4-digit groups. That's so crazy. Look at this guy. Oops. Lincolnshire, okay. I know there's a ton of radioactive virus out there. And so, yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. Oops. I agree. The VOA. All right, let's see. You don't know a two-circle dogfight? No, I don't know. Is it safe to look up? Let me see where we're at here. You know what we'll do? I'm gonna take I'm playing Minecraft and hearing the disturbing noises. It's disturbing. It's mentioning nuclear power cars. They've got a new nuclear reactor that can fit in a small vehicle now. It said VOA was too lefty. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. I'm gonna take a nap here. Nappy nap. I need some energy back, so I'll hit you guys back up probably around 3. It's 1:20 after 1 now, so about 2 hours. Hugs and kisses, y'all. See you guys all back in a bit. Yeah, Lamb, absolutely, brother. See you later, Robert, brother. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hugs and kisses, everyone. I just broke something. There we go. All right, bye.